Good evening, Wildcats, and welcome to UATV Channel 3 Sports. As always, I'm Brandon Mejia.
And I'm Claudette Pattison. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, for the weekend recap, the ALCS and the NLCS could be anyone's game. But for the Royals, they lead the Blue Jays 3-1, making them one game away from their second consecutive World Series berth. The Cubbies go into tonight's game, Game 2, behind the Mets, but will face the next 3 games against them at Wrigley Field for what should be quite the matchup. This just in, though, the Cubs do fall to the Mets tonight, 5-2, your final. Well, continuing onwards, 5 former students that were part of the University of Louisville basketball program admitted that they attended parties at a campus during the 2010-2014 season that included strippers. These parties hosted team members and recruits and were paid for by the team's former graduate assistant coach, Andre McGee. The school said in a statement Tuesday morning that, quote, to preserve the integrity of the review process, the university will withhold comment on any details until the review is concluded. Hockey season is underway and the power rankings are out. Montreal is on top of the ladder with San Jose following right behind them in second. Dallas and St. Louis fall to the number 3 and 4 spots, and the Blackhawks stand out to have a slow start, ranked 15 right in front of our very own Arizona Coyotes. Football season wraps up week 6 of play with only 4 teams still undefeated. Tom Brady and his Patriots, the Cincinnati Bengals, Denver Broncos, Carolina Panthers, and of course Aaron Rodgers and his Packers. But to talk more about that, Claudia has more on Monday Night Football's matchup last night.
Hey, and well, last night the Eagles took on the New York Giants in Philadelphia, and what a night for Philadelphia's defense with 3 sacks on Eli Manning and 2 intentional grounding penalties. The Eagles were able to make plays and keep the momentum during the game. But Bradford threw for 280 yards and had 3 interceptions, which helped New York stay in the game. Eli Manning also threw 2 interceptions, but the Giants' offense was just not in sync. They had a difficult time completing plays and putting points on the board. With a big lead going into the 4th quarter, the Eagles were able to close out the game with a win, a score of 27-7, and now the Eagles have won 2 straight games and moved from the bottom of the NFC East to tie with the Giants for first place. All right, so obviously a big gap in the score last night, 27-7. Talk to me a little bit about what do you think?
Well, it seemed the Eagles, having a 20-point game-winning difference, the main thing were penalties, and when you look at the yardage as well, the penalties, though, there was 21 on the night, 12 of which fell to the Giants, causing them 92 yards of damage. Right. When we look at the Eagles, they had 9 penalties, causing them 72 yards. They were still able to move the ball. They ended the night with 425 yards, 270 of which were passing and 155 of rushing. You didn't see this from the Giants. It really came down to the mistakes being made that really hurt them in the end. Penalty-wise, rushing yards, passing yards, and even turnovers.
Yeah. And I think also offensively, both sides wasn't pretty. New York had a lot of false starts, a lot of bad snaps, and just mistakes that you can't be making Game 6 into the season. New York had 3 turnovers. Philadelphia had 4, as you mentioned, turnovers. Both quarterbacks also threw not a lot, but a good amount of picks for a game. Manning threw 2, and Bradford threw 4. And I think offensively, Philadelphia was just able to execute better with the opportunities that they were given. And defensively, also did a better job. They put a lot more pressure on Eli Manning, and they had good coverage.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, as NHL gets underway, so does hockey here at the University of Arizona. Despite losing their senior captain, Shane Gleason, the team looks for a successful season, adding transfers Matthew Armente and Nick Zelmer, according to Coach Chad Berman.
And the Ice Cats have started off their season with 3 wins and 4 losses. If you want to catch a game, you can catch the game at Tucson Convention Center Friday, October 30th at 7:30 p.m. against the University of Oklahoma.
Have you been to an Ice Cats game?
I haven't. I was actually shocked that we had an ice hockey team in Arizona.
Of course we have an ice hockey team. You wouldn't expect it in Arizona, but
wouldn't.
We do. If you haven't seen a game, though, definitely go see one. It's loud. It's a loud, rambunctious group.
I heard they get rowdy.
But it's a fun time. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back talking about more U of A volleyball. Don't go anywhere. You're watching UATV Channel 3 Sports.
both doing?
Working.
Continue.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
And welcome back. Now we've got another story on the Arizona women's volleyball team, and my co-anchor, Brandon Mejia, went out and got an inside look on the starting center, Penina Snuka, and her success this season.
I think that defensive digs and the ability to play defense has allowed us to get more swings, and so our scoring averages are up. So those things are necessary if you're going to play with the big boys in the conference, with the Stanfords and the USCs and all the other with Washington. You're going to have to really execute in those areas.
Leading the Pac-12 in 3 of the 7 statistical categories, first in assist, digs, and kills, the U of A women's volleyball team gathered their 12th win of the season and second Pac-12 win against California Friday night. Number 20 starting setter did what she does best and is now on track to make history at the U of A. Penina Snuka, a junior and part of the women's volleyball team, has now made a name on campus. With over 3,000 assists, you can bet that Coach Rubio couldn't be more proud on what she has brought to the team here at the U of A.
She's an exceptional, elite athlete, the way she moves and digs and the way her brain operates. And she's a once-in-a-generation type of kid. I think that everybody around, certainly on the West Coast, and certainly nationally now, understand who she is and what she brings to the team. I mean, if you talk to any of the other conference coaches, they'd be like, Penina Snuka is just an unbelievable defensive player, setter, and I just think she's one of those really rare kids who's a little kid, 5'6", 5'5", who's able to play all the way around because of how all the things that she does for her team other than just set.
It was good. I mean, I also couldn't do it without my teammates, and the digs come from being able to read around the block, and our blocks in the right area, and going up early. It makes it so much easier for me to just dig around. So really, I'm not really doing any work. It's just a testament to the block and the throw around.
Coach Rubio and his team will gather their bags for a 4-game series where they'll face multiple Pac-12 teams, and their competition will be at its finest. For UATV Channel 3 Sports, I'm Brandon Mejia. Sports reporter Chris Delgado got to talk to some of the NASCAR racers when they visited the University of Arizona last week. Here's Chris with some more information on that.
The University of Arizona was a pit stop for drivers Brian Scott and Ben Kennedy as they met with students to discuss the 101 of the motorsport.
It's great to be here. Awesome student body, a lot of energy around here, and we're just having fun. We talked to a lot of kids. They had a lot of questions. We had a couple answers, as many as we could, and it's just great to be a part of such a cool community and really see different things.
University of Arizona is already really far ahead with the sports management program, with having a NASCAR racetrack and actually one of our bigger races nearby. I think it's great. I've really enjoyed the panel discussions and the ability to talk to the students and to inform them a little bit about NASCAR, or the ones that were curious about NASCAR to answer some of their questions and hopefully get more people turned on to our sport.
And for fans that haven't made it to an event, well, we got the perspective of a driver himself.
It's a great experience. You can sit there and you can watch it on TV, but you don't really experience it till you go out to a race and you're a part of it and you go out and tailgate and have a good time.
For those looking for the next racing event, NASCAR will be Willin and Dillon up in Phoenix the weekend of November 13th to the 15th. For UATV, Channel 3 Sports, I'm Chris Delgado.
What a cool opportunity for the students here to actually get to see that, like, real-life NASCAR race car driver, right?
Yeah, what an opportunity. Now don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this commercial break with more UATV Channel 3 Sports.
What are you guys doing?
Working?
Continue.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
Three Sports. Next, we have an inside look on the newest addition to the Arizona women's tennis team. I had the opportunity to go out to practice and talk to the team about this particular transfer student and how she's adapting to Arizona. Samantha Kazarnik is the Wildcats' newest addition to the Arizona women's tennis team. Although she is new to this team, being a junior transfer student from Texas Tech, head coach Vicki Mays and teammate Kinga Gartner expand on what she brings to the table.
Sam's a leader. I mean, she has an awesome personality. She's dealt with a lot of adversity in her previous school. She's tough. She really, when she speaks, everybody listens.
I enjoy playing with her. She just pumps me up, even when I'm, like, kind of like going down on myself. But overall, I really enjoy playing with Sam.
Samantha is a great addition to the Arizona women's tennis team, and head coach Vicki Mays has found that there are aspects of her game that she was taught at Texas Tech that differ from the way Arizona coaches.
I think at Texas Tech, they forced her to play a game style that's really not her personality. She's great as an athlete, but she's going to be a little bit more conservative in her game. She's a good defender. She can keep the ball in play. And so the majority of practice with Sam, we really try to focus on getting her back to playing the way she wants to play.
And Samantha gives some insight on her development so far at Arizona.
Yeah, I think definitely every coach has its way to coach your player. They have different views of the tennis game. And I really like how Vicky's coaching me right now. She wants me to be constant, but at the same time have confidence in myself to step up and be aggressive when I need to. So I think I really like that. Of course, you need to adapt to it, but I think it's getting better every day.
Samantha said it. Every coach has their own coaching style. Now, for head coach of the Arizona women's tennis team, Vicki Mays, that's going to be playing a lot less conservatively and playing more of Samantha's own game.
She's struggling a little bit with identity, and we've talked about that. We'll continue to talk about that, and I have no doubt she'll be a great asset for the Cats.
Samantha has shown strong performances in the past invitational tournaments and will continue to be an asset for the Arizona Wildcats. For UATV Channel 3 Sports, I'm Claudette Pattison.
A transfer from Texas Tech. Wow, what's that like seeing her come play around in Arizona?
Well, first of all, this girl's coming all the way from Brazil. And she's transferred from Texas Tech. And as the head coach, Vicki Mays, mentioned, she was taught a little bit of a different style over there. So they're working with her. They're trying to get her back to playing her own game. But I think she'll be a great addition for the Cats.
Great. Well, before we wrap it up here in the studio, here's your Wildcat Weekly. Friday, October 23rd, you can catch women's soccer taking on Oregon. Game time is set for 6. Women's volleyball will face Colorado after their 4-game road series at home Friday night at 8. Wildcat football is back at home and ready for homecoming, facing Washington State. Coach Rich Rod talks about the upcoming matchup. Well, with that...
I don't know what their health issues were then, but they're healthy now. They're playing with a lot of confidence. And I guess Boulder State's not too bad, but they're playing at a whole different level. Washington State is now than even just a few weeks ago.
Well, and with it being homecoming, it's a big game. What do we expect to see from U of A after that win over Colorado?
I think it's going to be a fair fight. Washington State leads the nation in passing yards, but they also have the worst rushing attacks, averaging 44 yards per game. Now, I think offensively, both sides, I think it's fair competition. I think we really got to figure out the quarterback situation here. Anu Solomon was taken out at the Colorado game last week, and Gerard Randall was put in. Now, he did a good job, but I think the team plays a lot better together when they have Solomon in there and they're able to sync up with offense.
I mean, I couldn't agree more with that. You don't have your quarterback, you don't have structure, and the team's just not going to flow overall. So hopefully they can get that all together, and hopefully overall we can pull the victory.
Hey, I think we have a good shot.
Good shot, right? Well, that'll do it for UATV Channel 3 Sports. Thanks so much for tuning in, and remember to like our Facebook page. Check out our YouTube channel at UATV Channel 3.
And tune in again next week for more of your updates and recaps on your U of A sports. For UATV Channel 3 Sports, I'm Claudette Pattison.
And I'm Brandon Mejia. Good night, Arizona.